All right, first things first, my friends. So I gotta use my phone because I have to look at my calendar. Make sure I get this right. Just final exam. Okay, so if you owe me, come on, if you owe me tests or quizzes or past homeworks, the last day to submit is Wednesday next week, which is actually we'll make it Thursday next week, sorry. Thursday next week, which is May 19th. Okay? Now, I just got to give you a heads up. I won't be here on Wednesday next week. I have my daughter's high school graduation to go to. So Mrs. Hogue will be back, and I'll just give her some stuff to review. Heritage. Yeah, so that's where she's at. So, what kind of questions can I help you with from last night's homework? Yeah. 5. All right, number 5, we have 4x plus 3y equals 12. And we have negative 12x plus 9y equals negative 36. All right, so we have to think, what should we get rid of? Should we get rid of x or y? I might choose x. So I'm going to multiply this whole top equation by 3. Make sure you distribute that throughout. So I get 12x plus 9y equals 36. To what? Oh, because I wanted to get rid of x, so to have an opposite value. Yeah, to get positive 12, because watch this. The bottom equation is just, I'm not going to touch it. Right? Have it all the signs right? So if I do this and I add these together as they go, those are going to cancel out. And then I get 18y equals 72. Oh, it's negative 36. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So that should have been negative 36. So that's going to be different. That's going to give me 0. So what does y have to equal if 18y equals 0? Y has to equal 0, right? So I have an x and I have a y. So there's a 0 there. So I'm going to take that 0. Bless you. I'm going to take this 0 here, and I'm going to plug it in for either of these. It does not matter which one I plug it into. So I'll just take the top one. So I get 4x plus 3. There was a y there, but now I'm going to put a 0 there. So 4x plus 0 equals 12. So 4x equals 12. Divide each side by 4, so x equals 3. So that's my answer. All right. Any others you would like to take a look at from last night? Number 6, you got it. So number 6, we have 2x plus 4y is equal to 8. And 5x plus 7y equals negative 7. Now, this one we're going to have to multiply both the top and the bottom. But on the final, you won't see this. So let's pick to get rid of x. So if I multiply the entire top by 5 and the entire bottom by 2, but I want x's to be an opposite value. So if I keep it like that, I'm going to get 10x on top and I'll get 10x on bottom. So I have to pick one of them and make negative. So I'll make the 2 negative. If I distribute this 5 here, here, and here, this becomes 10x plus 20y is equal to 40. If I distribute the negative to all of those, I get negative 10x minus 14y equals positive 14. And if I add these together, those cancel out. And I get 6y is equal to 54. divide by 6, divide by 6, so y is equal to 9. So I get a 9. So I'm going to take this 9, y equals 9, and I'll plug it into either of the two equations. Doesn't matter which one, they'll be the same answer on both. So I'll pick the bottom equation this time. So I get 5x plus 7. That was a y, but I'm going to replace that y with a 9 now. So then I get 5x plus 63 is equal to negative 7. Subtract 63 from both sides. So I get 5x equals negative 70. Divide by 5, divide by 5. And I believe that's negative 14. I don't think you'll see one quite that complex on the final. I will tell you a couple of the problems will be on the final. Like solve this, but it'll say, what is the x value equal to? It won't say the whole point. So then you just have to solve for one of them. So if it just says the x value and you solved it all the way through, it said, hell, this is the x value. That's all you put for the answer. Okay, and again, it's multiple choice. Anything else I can help you with? 8, okay. Okay, they want you to do this one as elimination. I honestly would do this one as substitution, where I'm going to set those equal to each other. Okay, and I'm not going to know whether you use substitution or elimination on the test. So then from here, I'm going to subtract 2x. Those cancel, so I get 5 equals x plus 2. Subtract 2, so I get x is equal to 3. I'm going to take this 3 and plug it in here or here. Doesn't matter which one. It's going to be the same answer. So y equals 6 plus 5, which is 11. Okay. Anything else? All right. I have another sheet for us. It's a whopping 8 problems, in which we will do 4 of them as notes. Deal? 2, 4. 2, 5. Throwing your shoulder out of socket, I'll pass this back. Purple Ranger. See the movie? All right. Everyone's doing well today, I hope. Good, good, good. All right. So, phones away, please. Hide them in a good spot that you know where they're at, but you won't forget, please. And let's bring that up. And I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to paste that. Oh man, I thought I copied it. Copy file. Paste. Now I have to change the size of it a little bit. Still a little too big. Copy. All right. So, how about we go to problem number 2? So this is a while back this semester. So we want to start graphing these parabolas. Okay, you will not have to graph by hand, but you will have to select the right graph. Does that make sense? So a good way to start this is we know that A equals 3, B equals 6, C equals -3. Agree? Does anyone recall the equation we use next to find the axis of symmetry? Negative B over almost 2A. You're close. All right, so I have the negative, so I get -6 over 2 times 3, which is 6. So that gives me -1. So x equals -1. Now, I don't have to go and graph the axis of symmetry. I could if I wanted to, but let's not worry about it because I don't remember seeing the axis of symmetry drawn on there. So I know that my x value of my vertex is -1. Agree? How do I get the y value? Good. Plug x into the blue. So I'm going to plug it in here and here. So I'll just bring it down here. So I have y equals 3 quantity squared plus 6 quantity minus 3. Inside that quantity, I'm going to plug -1 in. Okay? So -1 quantity squared is? -1 times -1 is? +1. +1 times 3 is 3. 6 times -1 is -6. And then -3. So I get, that gives me -3. That gives me -6. So -1, -6 is down here. There's my vertex. Now, friends, when you get to the final exam, because this is multiple choice, first thing I want you to look at is, does this parabola open up or down? And how do you know? It opens up. How do you know? You're absolutely right. Oops. Whoa. Undo. Undo. How do you know it opens up? You're absolutely right. Yeah, this is positive. So this is a positive value. So that means it opens up. So what I want you to do first is determine if it opens up or down. You're looking at your 4 choices for your answers. You still with me on this? If you know it opens up, and 2 of them are opening up, and 2 of them are opening down, what could you probably eliminate? Yeah, the ones that are going upside down. Say, cross those off. Now you have only 2 to choose from. Does that make sense? Then, when you're two to choose from, look to see if one of them has a vertex at -1, 6 that opens up. That might be enough information to give you the answer. Notice I haven't done the entire problem, agree? So that's a really big key for you. Now, let's say the 2 that are opening up, they do indeed have the vertex at -1 and -6. So now you have to look at how it's pattern graphed. So when I pattern graph this, what was the pattern we did? A times what? 135. Very good. So what's my A value? 3. So this is going to be 3, 9, 15. Okay? So from my vertex, I'm going to go right 1 up 3, left 1 up 3, and then I could go right 1 up 9. I can go left 1 up 9. And then, hopefully by having the vertex and the pattern graph, you're able to figure out which graph to choose. Now, I'm not guaranteeing that this will have 2 open up, 2 open down. Okay? So if they don't have that, then you're on their next adventure. Then, so a good key to doing these to think about is look at the problem. Is it up or down? Okay? If you know it's one way or the other, see if you can eliminate one or more of the graphs. Does that make sense when I'm saying that? So meaning, like, if I have these 4 choices down below, and this is A, B, C, and D, and I have this, and I have this, and I have this, and I have this, and let's say you're working this problem out and you're like, and I know it opens up, So I can eliminate this choice. Okay, that takes you from a 1 in 4 chance of guessing it to a 1 in 3 chance. Okay, like let's say you get to these and you're like, I don't remember how to do this. I'm almost positive everyone in this class could say, oh, it opens up or down. Oh, look, there's one that opens down. I know that's not the answer. Does that make sense by me saying that? Okay, so that's good stuff. And then once you do that, look at the vertex. Okay, so the vertex will be the negative b over 2a for the x, and then plug x in to solve y. So sometimes the vertex might be enough for you to guarantee it. So let's say this is a vertex of -1, -2, and I'm just making this up. Let's say this is a vertex of -1, -3, and let's say this is a vertex of -1, -3. Well, let's say you come up with the vertex being -1, -3. You've solved it. You're like, oh, I solved it. I got -1, -3. What can you eliminate now? The first, third, or fourth graph? First one. So now you are down to a 1 in 2 chance of getting it right. So you're using your process of elimination. Trevor's on his phone. To just call me out, man. Just give me a hard time. You spent too much time in the pool. You couldn't text in the pool because it's not waterproof. I get it. Just give me a hard time. So my thought process on this is you have enough knowledge to get through, and think about this. Coming down to you picking one of the right ones, if you didn't know how to go any further, you have a much better chance. Agree? And I know it's a goofy way to think about it, but it's like if you become a better test taker, and this doesn't just apply to math, this applies to any class. If you can get rid of the nonsense answer or answers, get rid of them. Then it gives you a better chance to, even if you're not sure how to do it. I mean, problem number 2, if I gave you guys that cold, I bet you almost everyone is okay with whether it opens up or down. If you could eliminate 2 of the choices because 2 of them are opening down on that number 2 that we worked on, then now you have a fighting chance to get it right. Now, I'm not saying it's like true, false, or not anything like that, but just double check to see if you can decipher it, okay? And then once you do that, then you're looking at the pattern graph. So let's say this pattern graph is 1, 3, 5, and this pattern graph is 2, 6, 10. But let's say you guarantee it's a 1, 3, 5 pattern graph, then you know this. So there's just some different processes that you can walk through and do. Okay? All right, so I did number 2. Agreed? Let me try number 4. Oh, our y-intercept? Let's go back to it. Here. Okay, what was the y-intercept without even graphing it? Something along the line. So it's actually 0, c for the y-intercept. What's my c value? -3, so 0, -3. So you'd be like, oh, right there. That's my y-intercept. Cool. Oh, axis of symmetry, we found it right here. Remember, the axis of symmetry is always the x component of the vertex. The y-intercept is always 0, c. If you're missing a c value, if it's 2x squared plus 5x and there's not a c value, then the y-intercept has to be 0, 0. Okay? Can I go to number 4? All right, let's see if my graph worked out. I like it. All right, problem number 4. We have y is equal to x minus 1 quantity squared plus 2. Okay, so this is set up in different form. I don't know the a, b, and c value as it sits. Agree? What form is this one set up to be? Remember, there was three forms. There was standard form, factored form, and vertex form. This is vertex form. So remember, when I pull something out of the parentheses, what do you know about the sign? It's going to change. So this -1 changes to a +1. If it's outside the parentheses, it changes this. There's my vertex, so 1, 2 is right there. Okay? So, do we know if this parabola opens up or down? It opens up because there's no negative sign, okay, in front. Okay, so it opens up. So we know that. We can then say, all right, I think I can pattern graph and find more information. So my pattern graph is 1 times 135 because the value right here is a 1. Okay, so from here, I'm going to go right 1, up 1, left 1, up 1. What did I just find with that dot? The y-intercept. The y-intercept is 0, 3. And then I'm going to go right 1, up 5, left 1, up 5. There's my parabola. And you could easily identify those points. They're right there. Hey, if one of my values is missing, if my B or my C value would be missing, what number do you plug in if it's missing? 0. Okay. So like on number 3, your B value is missing, so your B value on number 3 would be 0. All right. Can I move off this screen? Did we answer all the questions? We wanted to know the vertex and y-intercept. We had them both. Sweet. Paste. Okay. I am going to take a look at problem number 5. All right. This one is not in standard form. This one is not in vertex form. This is in factored form. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take each of the parentheses. I'm not worried about what's outside of the parentheses. I just take what the parentheses are. And then I solve it. Say, oh, I get -1. I get +3. So this gives me the point -1, 0. This gives me the point 3, 0. So -1, 0 is here. And 3, 0 is right here. What are those called? Roots. Very good. What will happen halfway in between the roots? They will eventually meet, yeah. Axis of symmetry, very good. All right, so what appears to be halfway in between those values? Let's see, if I come in, yeah, 1. All right, so x equals 1. So now I want to find the rest of the vertex. I know part of the vertex is 1. How do I find the other part of the vertex? How do I get the y value? Plug it in. So for each of the x's, I'm going to plug it in. So I'm going to get y equals 2, 1 plus 1, 1 minus 3. Do the math. Y equals 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 minus 3 is -2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times -2 is -8. So that's my vertex. So 1, -8 is down here. What will my pattern graph be on this problem? It's up. It's 135 times what value? 2. So you take that 2 that's out in front. So it becomes 2, 6, 10. So from here, I'm going to go right 1 up 2, left 1 up 2. What did that just find me? What is that point right there? Y-intercept. Very good. So 0, -6. So for problem number 5, they asked for the y-intercept, they asked for the vertex, and we have enough points to graph this. There it is. Okay, so on our problems, we worked number 2. Problems like number 2 are 1 and 3. On number 3, you know the b equals 0. Okay, that's like problem number 2. We also worked number 4. Ones that are just like number 4 would be 6 and 8. And then we also worked number 5. Is that what we did? We also worked number 5. So I'd like you to try and do number 7. Okay, so get this worksheet done. This will give you kind of a key of what they go along with. If you took the notes on it, you should be able to do it. You have the rest of the time to give me a work on that. I'll mark it off tomorrow. Hey, when is all of your stuff due? If you owe me any homework, not next Friday, next Thursday. So next Thursday of next week. Okay. You good? All right. I'm gonna stop recording.